Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Wheel Club. Bonsoir tout le monde et bienvenue au Wheel Club. Bon, alors c'est un peu différent ce soir. It's a little bit different from what you're used to, as you can tell, no doubt. We have a Songwriter Circle, or semi-circle, as Lucas was saying. Alors, nous avons 7 artistes incroyables ici avec nous, chacun avec leur propre style et des voix vraiment superbes. You are going to really enjoy these fantastic 7 singer-songwriters behind me. Each one is excellent in what they do, each with their own style. And all of this is in support of Solidarity across borders. Solidarité, sans frontières, is that right? Yeah.
Nailed it.
Bon. Alors, on est très content pour votre soutien. C'est pour la Solidarité sans frontières et le Wheel Club. Partagé moitié-moitié. All your donations will be split equally between Solidarity Without Borders, no, Across Borders.
Nailed it. Second time.
I'm going to stop trying to say that. And the Wheel Club. So thank you very much for being here. And ladies and gentlemen, Songwriter Circle, for lack of a better title.
You got it.
All right. Have a good one.
I like the title, but I'm just kidding. So yeah, Cliff just said it. What we're doing is a Songwriter Circle. We're going to go around in a circle, talk about tunes, play tunes, just to, have a good time, exchange between songwriters about how we do our craft. And, I'm always curious in this situation. I often ask, what does that lyric mean anyway, when I don't understand the lyrics? So I know that's going to be one question you're going to be hearing from me to these songwriters today. My name is Lucas Choi Zimbel. I'm co-hosting with Torrie over here. As Cliff was saying, this is for Solidarity Across Borders. Specifically, it's for the Anti-Detention committee at Solidarity Across Borders. So they take care of helping migrants who have been jailed, because in this country we still jail migrants who haven't committed crimes. Any support is appreciated. The pandemic was rough for them, I happen to know, so any support is greatly appreciated. We're going to do this as a kind of bilingual thing. So some people are singing in French, some people are singing in English. We're going to talk in French, English, switch it out. We are in Montreal, after all, where there is a hockey game tonight. Did you all know there's a hockey game tonight? We're up against the hockey game, and that's just the worst in Montreal. It's like going up against the Pope in South America or something.
We might hear them from the Bell Center.
We might hear them from the Bell Center. See, for the people who aren't from Montreal, whenever there's a hockey game in Montreal, if you're walking around town and you hear clapping, well, you know what happened is the Canadians just scored. So everyone's glued to their TV sets watching this tonight. And we're going to kick it off with my dear co-host, Torrie.
Hello and good evening. It's so much fun to be co-hosting here with Lucas and all of these amazing songwriters, some of which I've had the privilege of playing with before, and others I just met about 20 minutes ago. So it's a real privilege to have so many musicians in one room together, and I'm really looking forward to hearing everyone's stories and songs, and for no better cause than Solidarity Across Borders. I think it's a really important thing to be paying attention to right now, and I'm glad that we all showed up for this and for them. So I'm going to kick stuff off with a little ditty I wrote when I was living briefly in Kingston, Ontario. This was a song born out of young heartbreak, and the idea of the heart being like a big forest fire that encourages new growth eventually. I won't say too much more because we're going to want to maybe talk about it. Did I?
I think you did, no?
Oh.
You said, has anyone had their heart broken in Ontario?
Oh yes, yeah, I do tend to ask that. Anyone had their heart broken in Ontario?
Yeah.
Not that they're willing to admit, anyway. Okay, this is called Stronger Than. Took a chance on the crystal blue world you took me to. Didn't pack no bags, 'cause it takes 2 hands to carry this heart to you. I forgot to add, if anyone wants to add the odd harmony, drum on their guitar, whatever. I was not looking for this, but I'm a junkie for bliss. I travel looking for it, but always wind up where it's 4 blocks on either side. train tracks and an eventide, 4 walls I've known since I was 5. But when I come home, I come home to me, I come home to me, I come home to me, and let it burn for a while like a forest fire. What dies will die. Let the flood take my pain like a hurricane, but my will survives. I grow myself from an ash canyon, let the green morning grow from the palms of my hands, and I'm stronger than. She walks with grit and grace. She puts me in my place. She comes from outer space. But I go dead slow, no wake. But I don't hesitate. I shoot my cuffs and sip my gin and let my good heart break. 'Cause when I come home, when I come home, I come home to me, I come home to me, I come home to me, and let it burn for a while like a forest fire. What dies will die. Let the flood take my pain like a hurricane, but my will survives. I'll grow myself from an ash canyon, let the green morning grow from the palms of my hands, and I'm stronger when I come home, when I come home. I come home to me, I come home to me, I come home to me, and let it burn for a while like a forest fire. What dies will die. Let the flood take my pain like a hurricane, but my will survives. I grow myself from an ash canyon, let the green morning grow from the palms of my hands, and I'm stronger than. Ooh, and I'm stronger than.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah.
Thank you. Woo, been a while.
Oh, no, that was great. So much fun.
Yes. Thank you.
And the drumming and the backup vocals.
Yes.
Oh,
It's
awesome.
such a
Thank
fun
you
song
for
to
your support.
honestly.
Yeah, that's a
You know,
great
it's-
song.
It's such a welcoming.
Oh, thanks a
does a
lot.
vibe.
Beautiful
It's
lyrics
cool.
too.
Thank
Yes,
you.
I like those too.
Thanks. Thanks.
Leah.
I
I
guess,
guess,
I'll
yeah.
hand it off to you.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
So hi everyone, my name's Lea Keeley, and this first song I'm gonna be playing is a song I wrote for an ex of mine when he was going through a really rough time in his life, and was trying to help him through that, trying to keep him optimistic and remind him that there's always another way, and you just have to keep trying and keep fighting. So this song is called Ain't the Way. And it kind of ended up being my little anthem of self-love in the end. And also feel free, anyone who wants to jam out, feel free. You gotta find your way you feel, you gotta write your story. But you don't have to know what you want, just go with your heart. And if it ain't the way you want to, just look at how far you've come. Never feel ashamed. If it ain't the way you thought it'd be, just let your love set you free. You'll figure out a way somehow.
The vocal range was
Yeah,
really
it's beautiful.
there.
Ain't the way.
Those
Thank
runs.
you.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you do the runs differently every performance, or are they like
They're kind of
composed?
They're kind of similar, but a bit different. You
Nice.
know, if I feel like going a couple different notes, I'll do that. But they
Yeah.
do kind of stay in the same range.
They sound like so free and spontaneous. It's
Thank
like I was
you.
gonna do a harmony, but I didn't know where it was
Yeah, what
going.
was gonna happen? Same.
Yeah.
It's like it's flying. You know?
Beautiful.
Thank you.
And when you write the tunes, do you like leave spaces for like vocal gymnastics?
Oh yeah,
so
that's
it's
my
like-
that's my fun part. I like to do all the
Yeah.
runs and stuff. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I'd love to be able to do that, man. I tell you, you know what I
Did
mean?
you take lessons or whatnot on vocals? Did you
No,
just do that,
I
right?
just learned
You
from
just
listening to
song,
Stevie
man.
Wonder.
Well, that was good, yeah.
It's the best
Classic.
teacher.
Yeah, yeah,
Part of his school.
yeah.
Very cool. very
Thank
cool.
you.
So that was Lea Keeley, everyone. Jono, do you wanna?
Yeah, sure.
You wanna play us a tune?
I'm going to. So, hi, where's the red light? Oh, Christ. So my name's Jono. I'm a bar musician normally, and I'm gonna play a song about playing in bars. In Ontario, there's a town called Spencerville, small town where no one lives, but I play show there sometimes, and the whole town comes out, and it's fucking wild. Like, the whole town just goes crazy. So this song is about playing a show in that town of Spencerville. It's in G, if anyone wants to play along. It's country chords, so. Well, back at home, there is a place just off the 416 with a sign at the door and a fence all around and a piano that's missing some keys. Well, we got Johnny in the back, he's making some scratch. Turn up that Kenny Loggins. We got Jason at the bar, he's going 50 miles an hour. He makes the best MCs you've ever seen. So I call up my mama, I tell her, get her engine started. It's 45 minutes out from Lombardy. And I know when I get in that all my friends will be waiting and saying, play that song my grandma used to sing. Well, when I'm up in my third round and the liquor's all on the ground, even the lawyers are now up dancing. With a hell of a crowd of people here, they always help me load my gear. I can't even begin to tell you why. Well, I guess there's some in a Baptist town that city folks gotta learn about. Makes it so damn hard to say goodbye. You can rip her out or whine or holler, it ain't gonna turn a penny to a dollar. It's about friends who may go all the while. So I call my mama and tell her, get her engine started. It's 45 minutes out from Lombardy. And I know when I get in that all my friends will be waiting, saying, play that song my grandma used to sing. Well, I call my mama and tell her, get her engine started. It's 45 minutes out from Lombardy. And I know when I get in that all my friends will be waiting and saying, play that song my grandma used to sing. Thanks, guys.
I think I screwed up your ending for you, buddy.
No.
I'm so sorry.
You can always end with a G wrong.
You can always end with a G run. I thought I was playing it safe. There was an arrangement. By the way, that's a G run, folks. I just spent a day recording here at the Wheel Club with the Bluegrass Band. And as a bluegrass guitar player, I felt like my only job was to remember where to put a G run all the time. All the guys ever wanted to do is fucking G runs. And it drives me crazy. Anyway, Missed a whole lot of G ones. That's great, Jono. That's great.
Yeah, man. Surely.
So
Thanks, dude.
fun, wow.
Thanks, guys.
So that's one of the ones you do, like.
Actually, yeah,
Zimbel?
because I wrote that during COVID.
Okay.
Because I've been missing
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah.
So you
So
haven't played it yet?
I haven't played it yet.
Oh
No.
wow, that'll be a hit when you.
Right.
When I go back to
Oh,
the
I
town,
think,
I'm hoping that they'll catch up
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
Totally. And you could send it to them to book the place, for God's sakes.
Yeah, it's
Just like, hey man, book me. I got a song about your town, for God's sake.
Pretty good advertising right there.
That wasn't on a little demo you put out?
That was, yeah.
That was, okay. I thought I heard it. Yeah,
Yeah.
the guys played it for me a while back. Good
I
job,
just,
man.
yeah, I
Very
just put out
nice.
an EP called Crooked Creek.
Yeah.
Nice.
I always thought Crooked Creeks would be the name of one of those tunes, you know? I can't believe, is there a tune called Crooked Creek?
No, there's a cabin that a banjo player lives in, and he recorded it all on mics like this. And it's down his cottage road that was called Crooked Creek, so
Oh my god.
yeah, it's some hillbilly shit.
Totally, because Cripple Creek is like a classic. Salt Creek, all these
Nope.
creek songs. Crooked Creek is awesome. It could be like a crooked old fiddle tune. You know? All right, Yamato,
Alright,
you want to play this tune?
so yeah, I think I'll play a song that I wrote when I was hitchhiking in Japan with my sister. And it's a day that my aunt's boyfriend was fighting. He was fighting cancer for a while, and the day he died, like the day before, it was raining, and the day he died, it was like super sunny, and it was a really good day to hitchhike, and everything seemed like super good. It was in springtime, so yeah. So here's a song for him, and all right. It's called La Belle Météo. I'm the only one who's singing French.
We don't know that yet. Maybe
La
I'm
Belle
gonna sing it
Météo.
French.
Le soleil est beau aujourd'hui, le vent a l'odeur du printemps, le sourire des gens est sincère aujourd'hui. J'espère que t'en profites. Les bourgeons des cerisiers ont éclos, les enfants jouent dans le ruisseau. Aujourd'hui les rayons du soleil sont beaux. J'espère que t'en profites. J'espère que t'en profites de la belle météo, de là où ce que t'es parti ben trop tôt. T'es parti, j'espère que t'en profites de la belle météo, de là où ce que t'es parti ben trop tôt. T'es parti hier. Il pleuvait, hier tu te battais comme une carte qui est montée rapide pour devenir un dragon. Un dragon. Un dragon. J'espère que t'en profites de la belle météo, de là où ce que t'es parti ben trop tôt. T'es parti, j'espère que t'en profites de la belle météo, de là où ce que t'es parti ben trop tôt. T'es parti. Hier, il pleuvait, hier, tu te battais comme une carte qui remonte les rapides pour devenir un dragon. Un dragon. Un dragon. song and.
Tu le fais vivre avec, tu sais.
Ouais, c'est
Tu
ça.
le fais
C'est
vivre
cherché
avec la
longtemps
chanson.
ça.
C'est ça.
De là où il est, il doit être bien.
Ah ouais, c'est ça. Puis c'est ça pour ma tante, je pense qu'elle est contente d'entendre ça puis tout. Fait que,
Bien sûr.
c'est ça.
Mais ça se fait-tu bien du pouce au Japon?
Ça se fait super bien avec ma soeur, on se faisait ramasser en 5 minutes à chaque fois. Puis c'était comme ben, tu sais, ça aide si tu parles japonais, tu sais, le monde il était super content. Là. Moi je leur donnais des albums, là, ils m'amenaient manger partout. Puis tout, là,
Ça aide-tu t'avais-tu ta guitare?
Ouais, j'avais ma guitare, ma soeur avait son corps français, on bosquait.
Wow,
guitare,
ça c'est cool.
Ah, c'est nice. Je
Ils
joue
font
dans
pas
des
ça tous
petits
les
bars.
jours.
Vraiment.
Interesting guitar too.
Yeah.
Is there a story behind it? I'd
Yeah.
love to know.
Yeah, so that's my friend Josh Greenberg, publicity for Josh Greenberg. He builds a guitar and he builds like super loud guitar, so for busking it's really good. And yeah, so Larkspur Lutherie, that's his brand, and he builds a really nice instrument.
Wow.
But it's a gypsy jazz. Everyone here tonight is playing guitars, so
Yeah.
since you're playing the
Yeah,
c'est une guitare
that's
manouche
it.
dans le
Ouais,
fond,
c'est
c'est
ça.
gypsy jazz
Ok.
guitar, yeah.
Guitar
Guitar
manouche,
jungle.
gypsy jazz guitar. It's a guitar. If I don't know if you know I think a lot of people know the guitarist Django Reinhardt with 2 fingers, and he used to play that style of guitar, and he pretty much like invented his own genre of swing, and yeah, those guitars are built to make this style of music, but I play this style of music and other style of music with this guitar.
Wow.
Mais ça marche bien pour bien des affaires, je trouve.
Ouais.
Tu sais, les guides manouches, là, ça marche bien pour le finger picking quand même. Ça marche bien pour
Bah
le
ouais.
picking de même. Là,
Ouais.
c'est quand même assez
Vraiment.
versatile. Ouais.
Ça sonne fort.
Yeah. All right, Clerel.
Oh.
You want to play us a tune? Mr. Clerel.
Sure. Bonjour, allô, hello everybody. Moi c'est Clerel. C'est un plaisir d'être en aussi auguste compagnie. It's a pleasure to be here with you. So I guess for this round I'll share a song called Lonely Dance. And it's a song, you know, I spent a lot of time playing mostly covers, and you know, when I started writing my own songs, I guess there was always an effort on my part to try and like draw on something that would remind me of home. So home for me is Cameroon, Central Africa, and obviously growing up there, you listen to a lot of different styles of music, including, you know, the ones that are popular here. But you know, we have different genres, African genres such as makossa or high life, you know, which really, I guess you often recognize them because, you know, it's always a 1 and a 4, 1 and a 5, or all 3, or like, you know, so that's something that I guess, I don't think I necessarily was conscious of thinking about that like that, but I think in musical terms, what I was hearing was influenced by that kind of music. So yeah, so it's a song that I'm gonna share with you now.
Some bills to pay, too many rabbits to chase, and no time to play. It's a life of misery, I chose it. There's nothing else in the world I'd rather be doing. Still inside, there's something that I'm missing. I never used to mind, but I can't stand it. Certainly I have made very well for myself a mansion with the name silverware on my shelf. How could it replace loving somebody else? Don't wanna do the lonely dance tonight. I used to think of love as a waste of my time. I sought to rise above, chasing riches and dimes. That was all before you entered my life. Don't wanna do the lonely dance tonight. Don't wanna do the lonely dance tonight. Don't wanna do the lonely dance tonight. Don't wanna do the it's not enough to burn, and I am quite aware that you must feel concerned with the way that I stare. I've got the will to learn, got a lifetime to spare. Don't let me do the lonely dance tonight. I'm just another fool at the end of the day. And if ever you look past the art in my ways, you'll find a heart so full, you'll be the one to say, don't let me do the lonely dance tonight. Don't wanna 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 do the lonely dance tonight. Certainly I have made very well for myself a mansion with a name, silverware on my shelf. How could it replace loving somebody else? Don't wanna do the lonely dance tonight. 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 Don't wanna do the so fun to be next to so many great singers.
Oh man,
That was a real treat.
that was definitely a treat. When we played together, I never know what tunes are originals. You know what I mean? So like now I'm like, oh my god! Not only are you an amazing singer, you're a great songwriter, man. That was an amazing tune.
No, so yeah, and I love that you guys just picked out the harmonies. It was so great.
Oh man.
It's like you'd think we rehearsed that, but but you write in a way that really invites collaboration, I think.
That's, you know, I think my first experience really, like, you know, connecting with music in terms of like where like I thought it was so good, it felt like a drug. I think I was listening in church to like those hymnals, you know, those like like with the harmonies and everything.
Yeah.
It was I was just addicted. So I feel like that's something that I always kind of like.
Yeah.
I'm always drawn to that. Like layers and things like
For
that.
sure.
That's definitely my experience too. Growing up in the church
Oh,
was
there you
the
go.
hymns and
Right?
the vigor of it all. was
Exactly.
really,
You
yeah.
know, it just strikes you. So wow. So like you can have the melody that does this, but then like you add another voice under,
Yeah.
another voice over, and it's a whole other thing.
Yeah,
You
and there's
know?
something about being in a choir too as a young kid, and every morning it's like there was music thrown in front of me. And it's like, good luck with that, figuring out a harmony for that this morning as a 10-year-old. It prepares
good
you
training.
for stuff like this.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you ended up doing it professionally. I mean,
I guess,
you're
yeah.
singing university, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean, my main gig is really in church choirs these days.
Okay.
Oh, really? So you went back to the church now? I mean,
So
for the
yeah, I
choirs,
mean
'cause singers do
musically,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Actually, I mean my focus is Renaissance and Baroque music right now.
Wow.
So this is like a fun like hip modern thing to
Departure.
do.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting how like it's like the tune was designed to have harmony put on it. You know what I mean? It's like you can't be sitting in a circle and not join in on that kind of tune. It's
Totally.
like just not physically possible.
Yeah.
I mean, anyway, it was really cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Terence.
Cool. What's going on, everybody? I'm Terence Dechef. First, I'd like to thank you, Lucas, for inviting me, and Alan as well, and the Wheel Club for hosting. It's really cool to be around such great talent, too, so I'm really happy to be here. This first song I'm going to play is a song I wrote called Miles in Your Shoes. And And I wanted to write a song kind of centered around a quote that I really like, that's be kind to those you meet, for they're fighting a hard battle. And kind of the idea that sometimes you shouldn't necessarily judge people and their choices and they make and things like that, because you don't necessarily know what's going on in their life, you know what I mean? So I wanted to make kind of a story, and you see it from the perspective of two different characters. So before the first chorus, you see it from one character, what they're thinking about the other character, and then they talk about themselves, what's going on in their life. So it's kind of a reveal thing, you know? Anyways, this is how it goes. Is water trickle, raindrops sprinkle, cars splashing by. Sitting here alone, trying to stay positive and stay dry. As they walk past me, try not to see me, I think to myself, how could they not lend a hand when they've got so much they clearly can? From under my umbrella I spot that fellow, hoping I had change to spare. And I kept on walking by, just trying not to stare, thinking, get a real job, you lazy slob, you won't get a cent from me. 'Cause one thing I know, nothing in life is free. And I could walk miles in your shoes, see where you're from and go into, and understand you. Or I could climb a pedestal, nose turned up, looking down at you. Or is that what we do? Oh, no. Well, I've had a bad day, they may need to lay off me. I've got bills to pay, so deep in debt, somehow I've got to find some way. As I reminisce on a country I miss that has since been lost to war, and my visa was voided, I could renew no more. And I could walk miles in your shoes, see where you're from and go into, and understand you. Or I could climb a pedestal, nose turned up, looking down at you. Or is that what we do? No. No, we all walk our separate roads, and it's always up hills, no matter where you go. Now it can sometimes seem as though your neighbor's road is so easy, but what can we see? And I could walk miles in your shoes, see where you're from and go into, and understand you. Or I could climb a pedestal, nose turned up, looking down at you. Is that what we do? I could walk miles in your shoes, see where you're from and going to, and understand you. I could climb up a pedestal, nose turned up, looking down at you. Is that what we do? Oh. Thanks, guys.
He's so precise. It's like there's only one or two notes playing at one time. You know, it's just like tiny.
It's like there was like 3 characters, and the third one was the guitar. Really.
Yeah. Wow. And I appreciate like how you play like delicate but rhythmically. You know, there's a lot of times people who play super rhythmically, we have a tendency to like really like give her, but you're just like it's like you're kissing the strings. You know what I mean, with your fingers. I really appreciate that, Terence.
So what did you say inspired that song? It was okay from the quote, like
yeah, I don't know.
Walking on, well, you know, not judging, I guess, other people based on like just what's apparent.
Yeah, just positive ideas, I guess, to give to the world.
It's very sunny. I mean, it sounds sunny. It's like so bright.
And I think it's very relevant, like, to what we're raising money for tonight. You know what I mean? You said
that's true.
You never know what people are going through, and that is so true of the migrants who like arrive in this country. You know what I mean? They arrive here, and like sometimes we throw them in jail, and we have no idea what they're going through. Like over the pandemic, I was a little bit, full disclosure, I was a little bit involved with Solidarity Across Borders, and you know, sometimes we were sending people back to countries where they were almost facing certain death, like their family members had already been picked off, and Canada still puts them in jail and then throws them on a plane and sends them back to their country. And you know, we never know what they're going through, like you say. And it reminds me of one particular case where the judge said to them, when they said, my life is in danger in my native country, the judge said, everyone's life is in danger in your native country, and just sent them back. Anyway, so it's I think it's a good, it ties into our mission. What you said inspired that song tonight, our mission. Jesus Christ, I sound like I'm sold or something here. But I do have a statement I'm going to read from Solidarity Across Borders, specifically from the Anti-Detention Committee, that this is a fundraiser for. I'd also like to take a moment, first of all, to thank the Wheel Club for doing this. You guys are awesome. All our techs. We couldn't have done this without you guys. You guys are all amazing. I mean, it's just like amazing having you guys here, and I'm so happy that you guys would like consent to do this. These are like amazing songwriters. You all just witnessed that, you know what I mean? And here they are coming out in the tail end of a pandemic, hopefully, fingers crossed, and doing this, you know, for a good cause. It's just so appreciated. So I have a little statement here I'm going to read before I play a tune. It's in French. Ellen's going to read an English version later. This is from the Anti-Detention Committee at Solidarity Across Borders. D'abord, le Comité Anti-Détention de Solidarité sans frontières aimerait remercier les musiciens et musiciennes, le Wheel Club et vous, le public, pour votre générosité ce soir. Nous sommes un collectif qui travaillons en solidarité avec les personnes migrantes incarcérées dans la prison pour migrants de Laval. Nous essayons de rejoindre les détenus pour voir ce qu'ils ont de besoin, comme des produits d'hygiène, des vêtements et des cartes téléphoniques. Nous liaisons souvent avec leurs avocats, qui souvent ne parlent même pas la même langue qu'eux. On parle avec leur avocat pour réussir la libération des détenus. Mais c'est un peu compliqué parce que l'avocat parle pas la même langue que la personne qui représente. Fait que là, souvent, la comité anti-détention va trouver un traducteur ou traductrice pour s'occuper de ça. Un interprète, je pense, on dit. Depuis le début de la pandémie, les détenus à Laval ont monté des grèves de faim pour souligner l'injustice inhérente de la détention des migrants, et encore plus pendant une pandémie globale. Le comité Anti-Détention soutient leur travail en leur mettant en contact avec des journalistes, en faisant des conférences de presse et en organisant des manifestations de solidarité à la prison. Nous avons très peu de financement, donc ce que vous donnez ce soir va avoir un impact majeur sur notre capacité de continuer notre travail de solidarité et soutien des personnes migrantes incarcérées. Merci de votre soutien. Please, guys, give generously. I know the Anti-Detention Committee. I've met most of them. They are lovely people doing such important work, and they can't do the work without financing. Il y avait un cas que je me souviens cette année où on a dû renvoyer quelqu'un parce qu'on n'avait pas le 1000$ pour payer un avocat pour qu'il aille le représenter dans un procès, dans un programme des Nations Unies. Puis tu sais, ils n'ont juste pas pu le faire, il n'y avait pas l'argent. Des fois, l'argent est juste pas là. C'est ça qui arrive. Alors, moi, I'm going to play my little tune now. My little tune, which is a tune I wrote a while back now, many years ago. It's called Talk Taboo. I wrote this, it's a little dark. I really don't want to be dark or anything, but I usually don't tell the story live, because when you're playing in a bar, you don't want to, kill the vibe, telling a real sad story. Or if you're playing in a cafe, you don't want to do that either. There are very few contexts in which to tell very, very sad stories. So I'm going to take advantage of this. This is actually why I assembled you all tonight. Okay, all full disclosure, guys. I just need to tell a sad story. I had a friend whose father killed himself. He failed his first attempt, and my friend found him all bloodied and messed up on the side of the road while she was driving home. And she just didn't understand it. She was like, Papa, qu'est-ce que tu fais? Papa, qu'est-ce que tu fais? And then she drove him to the hospital and, basically saved his life. Not long after that, he successfully took his own life. So I lost touch with this friend, and I heard about this probably about 3 years later. I hadn't seen her in a long time. And when I heard about this, 2 days later, I was shocked when I heard about this. I couldn't believe it, it was hard to take. I remember, bawling. But 2 days later, I was reading the newspaper, and I never do this, the little free newspapers in the metro, back in they still have them, 24 Heures, or I think it was actually Metro. And I was reading the letters to the editor, which I never do, and I read the letters to the editor, and it was a whole segment about suicide and how it's taboo to talk about suicide because of the guilt associated with it and all that, the guilt when a loved one kills themselves. People tend to blame themselves often. So it was an article, and it was a letter to the editor, and I was reading it, and I couldn't believe how beautifully it was written, and it was in response to another letter, blah, 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 but anyway, I couldn't believe how beautiful it was written. And I got to the end, and it was my friend's signature. She actually had submitted this letter to the editor. I hadn't seen her in 4 years. The day after I find out her father killed herself, I read in her words her experience. So I cut that out of the paper, and I folded it up, and I put it in my back pocket. Actually, I put it in my wallet, in the inside of my wallet, and I dragged that around for probably 9 months, maybe 10 months. I dragged that around for a long, long time, thinking about, writing a tune, getting something done about that subject. And 9 months later, I did write a song and eventually get it finished. And then I lost the little paper. That little paper's gone. So I'm going to play this for you guys now. It's called Talk Taboo. Oh, the blood, the blood, the blood on my hands. How could I hope to ever understand? I'm your seed, your flower, the branch on your tree. I'm glad somebody found you. Did it have to be me? Guilt should not lead to silence. Au contraire. Oh, we must discuss. These are stories to share. It's not because we don't tell them that they're not there. I'm gonna scream, scream it loud and clear. Talk taboo because there's no more fear. How did your world become a prison from which you needed to be set free? If you couldn't, wouldn't stay for yourself, goddamn, stay for me. Little darling, how could you understand? Daddy's gotta go to the promised land, but I'll see you there someday. Well, I'll see you there someday. Oh, this feeling, it burns, so full of grief. You've been stolen from me, but you're also the thief. I do not blame you, how could I? This isn't your fault. The world's gone mad and this is the result. Guilt should not lead to silence. Au contraire. Thank you. I noticed someone else was mentioning that they had a tune that there was like a conversation thing going on back and forth with that. Yeah, I guess that kind of happens in that tune too. I was thinking mid-song that there's there's the daughter part and the father part. It's kind of a similar kind of
like
concept.
Story, but it's just interesting because the melody, like if I were listening to that in passing, like in a store or something, it sounds pretty happy, like compared to like the theme of the lyrics.
Yeah,
like, it sounds pretty, like,
especially in the like the second section there, like when it's the father. Like I actually wanted that because I felt like it had to be like reassuring. You know what I mean? Like it had to be the father reassuring the daughter because of the context of. Well, I guess it's funny because sometimes when you write, you have an external context. Like my context is the letter that I kept reading over and over again, and because of that, she talked a lot about how, like the guilt for the survivors, and I felt like someone who wanted to take their own life, who also loved their children, like this guy, would want to like reassure the person, reassure their daughter that this had to happen, like I had to end my life, it has nothing to do with you. There's a great book, actually, I'm just going to mention this real quickly and then we're going to move along, but there's a great book by Miriam Taze about this. It's called about suicide. It's called All My Puny Sorrows, and I read it recently and it reminded me a lot of this whole situation because it goes into great detail about that, It's like, what do you do? Like she knew your father wanted to kill himself. How do you stop someone? You can't. It's this powerlessness, right? Anyway, this is very hard to segue out of. I'm so sorry to be such a downer, everybody. Like it's almost as if like I just called a Songwriter Circle because I needed a therapy session. And I guarantee you guys that is not what's going on.
A lot of songs come from various levels of trauma.
Absolutely.
So
Exactly.
Most of my songs, in fact. And I tell people in the bar, I'm like, listen, this is about being sad. I'm sorry if it ruins your beer. Like, you have to make art for yourself as well. And,
for sure.
And it was really powerful to listen to. And,
thank you, Ellen. I appreciate it.
I think cathartic in some way for everyone. And I love it's sort of a metaphor how the melody is playful and if you don't look deeper, it just sounds like a playful, fun melody. Just sort of like, if you don't pay attention to people's struggles, you never know what's sort of like brewing below the surface or sort of like.
Yeah, I had not thought of that one. That was
come on, of course you did.
Did your friend
No, I didn't actually.
to hear that song? Like, I mean, the friend that had penned that article.
I don't think she's heard the song. If she did hear the song, I don't know. I would definitely not tell the story.
Right.
Like, I'm just hoping she's not watching this right now. I think it's very unlikely that she is, but like, it's touchy. I thought about that a lot, I thought about almost reaching out to her.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's complicated, I'm sure, right? It's like, I mean, at the same time, the song is so obviously kind of like inspired and like born of that kind of experience and like what the emotions that it evokes in you, right?
Totally.
And yet so universal.
Well, yeah, I feel like it's probably very relatable regardless, It's like,
I feel like there is something almost touchy now that I think about it, about like making art out of people's struggles or making art out of like people's misery. It's one thing about like doing about your own struggles and misery, and it's like, and there's nothing wrong with it either way, but it's like having the people know that that's what the song is about, like.
Well, it's funny you mentioned it because I almost wanted to ask you earlier too, because you mentioned that obviously it had been written for your partner at the time. So I'm assuming you heard it too, right? Like and okay, yes, I guess different ways.
How did he react to that?
He thought it was a thoughtful thing to do, a thoughtful gesture. Yeah. But ultimately, like, it was his own choice to go his own way, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, you can only help someone so much again.
Of course.
Like the same thing.
Were you nervous when you played it for him?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I would feel like I would be like extra nervous playing a song for someone that it like relates to them or was inspired. That whole thing.
I
That's
admire
like.
you for that. I don't play my song to like people individually.
Yeah.
I just I perform in places.
Totally.
So
it's harder to play for one or two people than it is to play for like 100. I think. Yeah.
Totally. Like the level of embarrassment I think I would feel is like incredible, and I feel none of that making a fool of myself in front of hundreds of people in concert halls. But like one person singing
Just
to them and the
you.
song is about them, I feel like I would melt or something of embarrassment. Jesus. Yeah. Anyway, Helen, would you like to?
Sure. Yeah. I'll
the show
move
along?
things along here. I'll start with reading the English version of the statement from the Anti-Detention Committee of Solidarity Across Borders that Lucas read in French earlier. So firstly, the Anti-Detention Committee of Solidarity Across Borders would like to thank the Songwriters, the Wheel Club, and you, the audience, for your generosity tonight. We are a collective that works in solidarity with people incarcerated at the Laval Migrant Prison. We reach out to detainees to provide basic necessities like personal hygiene products, clothing, and phone cards. We also act as liaisons between detainees and their lawyers, who often do not even speak the same language as their detained clients, to support the liberation of detainees. Over the course of the COVID-19 pandemic, migrant detainees at the Laval have staged hunger strikes to draw attention to the injustice of migrant detention. The Anti-Detention Committee has provided support for their actions by putting detainees in touch with journalists, staging press conferences to draw attention to the plight of detainees, and holding demonstrations of solidarity outside the migrant prison. Our collective has very little funding with which to do our work, so any help that you can provide is greatly appreciated, and will have a serious impact in building a network of solidarity and support with migrant detainees. Thank you for your support. I was just gonna see kind of what came out of listening to your song. So I hadn't really prepared a second song, and I haven't played this one in a real long time, but it just fits well with the theme that's sort of happening here in a lot of ways, and I promise I won't be too much of a bummer. It does have a happy ending, but this is a story and a song that I wrote that is sort of a letter to my bad brain. So it was an exercise of personifying that darkness that I'm sure we all encounter, sometimes especially as artists. I mean, it's sometimes what drives us to create because we have to get it out. And so this is a song, I don't know, a love letter or a letter of truce to a mental darkness. And so that's what that is, and we'll see if I remember it all. I wrote this in my second year of university, and I wrote it, and I was on the balcony in the middle of some pretty deep sadness, having a cigarette and feeling like, what's the point? And then a gaggle of really excited children it was just newly springtime, and a group of like 10 4-year-olds came running out of nowhere down underneath my balcony, and they were all jazzed about spring, and they were pointing at squirrels and cats, and I was like, okay, fine, there's a reason. And I think that reason is joy and light wherever you can find it. So this is called Light.
Smoke your cigarette. Can I take your coat for you as you lay down on my bed? Do I ask too much of you? Breathe some life in me, 'cause I just feel so tired, so tired of this mess. When you outgrow the emptiness, when you outgrow a heart that beats too slow and then too fast, and I need light or salt or blood or ink to cage the stories in the past. And I said I wouldn't run because I know you saved the best for last.
By the way, this is an A minor. 3 chords, if anyone feels like adding some sparkles.
Then the fog came rolling in, and I this one. I'm weary of the stories I've amassed. This time I drink the sun and let my light be deep and whole and vast. And vast.
That was great.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Remind.
Thanks for reminding me of that.
Oh man, it reminded me of something Gurn said once. You guys know Gurn from Grumpy's
Gurn.
big bartender. He's an NDG guy. Yeah, anyway, he once turned over. He's like in his 60s, maybe late 50s. Anyway, he turned over to me and he was like, you know, my only friends whose mental health is okay are my musician friends. And I think about that a lot, and I think it's because like one of the reasons is that we could like revisit these moments all the time. Like we write songs about them and we revisit them all the time. You know what I mean?
Totally, yeah.
Stay connected to them.
Stay
Yes.
connected to them. Don't block them out. You know.
Become friends with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
They pay our bills.
Exactly. I was about to say profit from it. That's it. That's it. Pay the bills. Cha-ching.
Yeah.
You guys ever had like anything bad happen to you in life and you're like, yes, song time.
No, that's so.
My royalty checks are gonna be amazing.
It's legit. It's so true. I mean, I used to write pretty much exclusively about heartbreak, and I've been like solidly in love for about almost 3 years, and I haven't written a good song. And I can't even tell you how long, pretty much since I met my partner. It's like, damn it, couldn't you be worse or something?
I've heard of this phenomenon happening for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
It's also one of my theories about why sophomore albums are often garbage. You know what I mean? You get all the success, you meet someone, next thing you know, you can't write songs about heartbreak anymore. So often people's second records are not that
On
great.
the other hand, though, you might push it to, like, I guess, challenge yourself, and then who knows what what you encounter in doing that. What other universe and like what other emotions.
Positivity.
I mean, I like to think we probably all know like musicians that we like that like have been able to like make things that we like through our going through not even just partners but like different stages and like of age and like well, I mean, I know for sure I can think of like a few people that I know like whose music is just like it's like, but it's true probably that like I guess in general too I feel like like you can write about something in particular, you can write a lot about something in particular for so long, right? I mean, I think eventually you find that you've said everything you had to say about this specific topic.
Yeah, that's
And
That's true.
And like maybe yeah.
And sometimes like life forces you into that situation.
Also,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
It's like Helen said, you write about heartbreak, well, you're gonna have to find something else to write about. Ellen. Your heart's not broken anymore. Oh shucks, gonna have to find something else to write about eventually.
Yeah.
No
We'll
pressure.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not all bad, that,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Evolution. It's not
Totally.
Yeah.
All right, Lea.
Yeah,
now
all
let's
right.
begin.
So this next song I'm gonna play is a song I wrote during quarantine last year, when everything was just nobody knew any future. We couldn't foresee any end of this, and there was so much unknown and uncertainty and fear. And I wrote this song to kind of bring myself back to the present moment and remind myself of all of the beautiful things that are around us, and to follow the signs and follow the synchronicities and keep believing and kind of take that leap of faith into the unknown and trust that the universe is going to catch you no matter what. So this one is called Who You Are, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. And it's also, I released this one as a single in October of last year, so you can find it on all those platforms. Know who you fate, bring a pocket full of posies, just in case. Let go of your hate and let go of all your fear. Look deeper inside so you can see clear. You greet the sun with its warm embrace as it touches your face so gracefully. You feel it warms your heart as your sorrow starts to fade. Today is a new day, it's up to you what you make of it. Yeah, it's up to you what you make of it. Yeah, you just gotta know who you are, 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 know who you are. We're just a fragment of a freckle from the universe's eye. Not certain where we came from, but certain we're alive. Keep checking my reflection in the essence of this earth, and counting all my blessings and knowing all my worth. The synchronicities, different frequencies keep reminding me it's not too late to follow my dreams. So we all swim in the pond of curiosity, but what has it taught me? There's no impossibilities. Yeah, there's no impossibilities. Yeah, you just gotta know who you are, 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 know who you are. Yeah. You just gotta know who you are, know who you are, know who you are. Know who you are, know who you are, know who you are. Thank you.
That's great.
Gorgeous.
Thanks for the harmonies and the little backup.
Another one that invites participation, I think,
Yeah.
in a beautiful way. Yeah.
A great hook does that.
Thank
Catchy,
you.
that one. That's definitely going to be in my head.
Hey.
It was before we even started, just from sound check, in the bathroom.
I'm surprised nobody knows how to beatbox. Not one of us.
Wow.
You know how to beatbox?
You didn't do
I
it?
did not
Oh
do
man! During that rap chorus, I was just like, is that track acoustic on the record, or is it?
I actually produced it all at home on GarageBand.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
So,
Right on.
layers, right? The vocals
yeah,
and
yeah, I
the
add
process.
harmonies and layers and yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Sweet.
yeah.
Oh, is that what you usually do with your looping pedal?
Yeah, exactly.
famous
Yeah,
looping
so
pedal.
normally I would layer my harmonies and do my loops and loop the guitar and then add a little beat pad or something, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the big question I kept getting from the technical team here, from Ed specifically, the sound guy, was, is the looping pedal going to be there? And like, I don't really know
Not
what's
this
going
time.
on,
All
but
together.
It's nice to strip it down sometimes too and just bring it back to just the guitar and the vocals, you know?
totally.
Yeah.
If it works like that, I mean, you know it works with like all dressed harmonies on top of it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, if you get a song across with just the main melody, harmonies are sugar on the cake. Is that icing on the cake?
Icing on the cake.
Icing on the cake. Jono, do you want to move along with us?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Move us along.
I'm gonna play another song off my record, and this one's called Home. Yeah, this one's called Home, and this song is actually about I have trouble like expressing my emotions, like as just as a man, it's hard to like, you know, like be vulnerable sometimes. So this song is kind of about that whole thing.
Let me go away. How can I say I'm leaving? I'm on my own. If I say that I'll stay, would you take me someday to a place I could call my home? Many times before will I've talked of my game, made a fool of myself around you. I can't even realize the time I've spent making troubles pass with you. So don't go trying to fix me, saying I gotta cry a little more. I know I can be a little bit intense. It's just water under bridges till it all overflows. I think I'll get myself a boat. Let me go away. Oh, can I say I'm leaving? I'm on my own. If I say that I'll stay, would you take me someday to a place I can call my home? I know what you're thinking. You got my tongue wrapped in circles. Know you got a story on your eyes. And I miss the way you play guitar when I pissed you off. And all those songs are all about me. So don't go trying to fix me, saying I gotta cry a little more. Know I can be a little bit intense. It's just water under bridges till it all overflows. I think I'll get myself a boat. Let me go away. Oh, can I say I'm leaving? I'm on my own. If I say that I'll stay, would you take me someday to a place I could call my home? If I say that I'll stay, would you take me someday to a place I can call my home?
Yeah, man.
Thanks.
Yeah, man. It's like, you know, I think we're in a time where men are more and more able to express themselves, and I think that it's through people. I think music is one of the engines that can like help re-educate people about, you know, how men can be vulnerable. So you're an engine of it when you write songs like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's true though. It's good. Wow.
Beautiful song.
Those are the first.
Line about how you play guitar when you're pissed off at me.
Yeah, because
It's a familiar situation for me as well.
I'm in a band with my girlfriend, so
Okay.
she always writes songs. Like whenever we get in a fight, she'll like go in a room and write a song about me, and I'm like, fuck.
That's like
Well, that's not Fleetwood Mac style.
Fleetwood Mac, exactly. It's like Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, the classic. Also, your voice blends beautifully with the guitar, you know? You're playing one of those big dreadnought guitars, and it's like, you know, those things sound real low down. They got that nice little shimmer, and then your voice just like fits in right where the frequency. This is for Ed. I'm saying this to sound right where the frequency gets scooped out. Your voice just gets in there. It's like you have a voice that blends beautifully with the guitar.
Sweet. So I wasn't playing too loud that time. That's good.
the soft feely ones are always. Ed likes the soft feely ones because we don't get his mics too hot there, right? We're not peaking or nothing. All right, Yamato, would you like to move us along?
I think I'm gonna go, because all my songs are like, I'm thinking about songs, but they're all pretty depressing, so I'm gonna go with the less depressing.
Still in minor key.
Yeah, minor key. Always. Not always. So this song is called On tourne en rond, and it talks about numbing your feeling with alcohol and the world going like in a weird direction. So, all right. Ma bouteille a un fond, mais ma soif en a pas. Mon blues est démodé, peut-être qu'il va revenir à mode à un moment donné. Le monde me fout la chienne, parce que le monde en vaut la peine. Mais pas capable de se contenter de la beauté du ciel, et jamais satisfait de son bonheur artificiel. Et on tourne en rond, et on le sait. On tourne en rond en s'enfonçant toujours plus profond dans la fossé. On creuse un cimetière, on peint un suicide collectif sans vraiment le vouloir. Et on se dit que c'est impossible sans vraiment y croire. Et on tourne en rond et on l'essaie. On tourne en rond en s'enfonçant toujours plus profond dans le fossé. On creuse un cimetière, on peint un suicide collectif sans vraiment le vouloir. Et on se dit que c'est vraiment impossible sans vraiment y croire. Tabarnak, on s'organise-tu? Parce que la bêtise humaine, faut qu'on la tue. Pourquoi l'effort est éphémère quand on est en train de devenir poussière? Ma bouteille a un fond, mais ma soif en a pas. Mon blues est démodé, peut-être qu'il va revenir à mode à un moment donné. On peint un suicide collectif sans vraiment le vouloir. Et on se dit que c'est impossible sans vraiment y croire. Et on tourne en rond et on le sait. On tourne en rond en s'enfonçant toujours plus profond dans le fossé. On creuse un cimetière, on peint un suicide collectif sans vraiment le vouloir. Et on se dit que c'est impossible sans vraiment y croire. Et on se dit que c'est impossible sans vraiment vouloir. Et on se dit que c'est impossible.
blues démodé. Le concept d'un blues démodé, ça, c'est des vraiment bonnes paroles, ça.
Merci, ouais. Lui, on se dit que c'est impossible sans vraiment croire. Voilà, j'aime bien cette partie-là. Ça sonne bien.
Ouais, c'est cool, man. Yamato, c'est une des raisons qu'on se retrouve ici. En fait, tu as fait un genre de truc un peu de même chez vous pendant la pandémie, mais il n'y avait pas de public. Fait que, tu sais. Ben, il y avait un public, mais c'était juste nous autres. C'était juste quelques chansonniers. Tu avais invité moi puis 3 autres chansonnières, en fait.
Lea, Sandra, puis Allison.
C'est ça.
Puis toi.
Puis on s'est comme joué des tunes, un peu comme on fait à soir. Mais tu sais, c'était comme. Un peu pour les casser aussi, je pense. Tu voulais casser tes tunes à quelqu'un.
Là, parce que là, j'ai enregistré mes tunes, puis ben, j'ai arrangé aussi, parce que normalement, il y a comme un quintet de cordes, le quintet de cordes à la fin du monde, là, avec qui on bosse tout le temps. Puis c'est eux qui m'accompagnent pour mon album. Puis c'est assez drôle de les jouer sans eux, là, mais.
Ça va, hein?
Ben, c'est cool.
Ta quintette de cordes, là, c'était la fête à ma copine. Puis je suis allé dans le parc par hasard parce qu'on achetait de la pizza pas loin à la petite Italie, puis vous jouiez, genre. Puis j'étais comme, oh man! Like, dinner just turned into dinner and a show. Genre, c'est tellement le fun que vous jouez dans les parcs comme ça en ce moment parce qu'on n'a pas de salle de spectacle et pas de bar, là.
On n'a pas le choix, là.
Puis c'est un peu différent du busking, tu sais. Vous pourriez juste aller busking, mais vous installez dans le parc.
On fait les deux, on busque toute la journée. Puis à la fin de la journée, là, on boit, puis on va dans un parc, puis on invite tout le.
Bien chaud, bien réchauffé.
Ouais.
All right. Clerel, would you like to regale us?
Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna take a chance here.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
I'm gonna ask a willing soul to play the same 4 chords the whole time. And these 4 chords are, if I remember correctly, okay, so F, A minor, G, and E minor, over and over again. That's it. Alors, ça c'est une chanson très récente, alors c'est pour ça que je ne me suis pas encore habitué à la jouer en la chantant. Donc, je vais m'appuyer avec ce cœur de guitare. Merci les gars. Merci. C'est une chanson qui pour l'instant s'appelle QTV, pour quand tu veux. Et je l'ai écrite ça fait pas très longtemps, dans le cadre d'un EP en français que je sors bientôt. Et en fait l'idée, après en fait l'année que nous avons tous eu, hein, et que nous continuons d'avoir pour certains, l'idée c'était vraiment de créer un thème d'évasion. C'était vraiment juste ça. Donc voilà, j'espère que vous allez l'aimer. Et ça marche aussi bien si... quand tu veux. Rendez-vous là où les aigles n'iront pas, et on peut s'envoler, laisser le vent nous emporter. On peut partir, c'est quand tu veux. Rendez-vous là où les aigles n'iront pas, et on peut s'envoler. Je t'appelle, en connais-tu ma voix? Je t'appelle, est-ce que tu me reçois? Je t'appelle, quand viendras-tu me voir? Tout est prêt, je n'attends plus que toi. Des papayers, des mangues feront symphonie dans nos bouches. Nous remplirons
te sens obligé, tu peux choisir de rester. C'est pas du tout comme si ta vie en dépendait, tu peux choisir de rester. On trouve bien là de quoi se rassurer, tu peux choisir de rêver, d'aller regarder les étoiles de plus près. On peut partir, c'est quand tu veux, rendez-vous là où les aigles n'iront pas, et on peut s'envoler, laisser le vent nous emporter. On peut partir, c'est quand tu veux, rendez-vous là où les aigles n'iront pas, et on peut s'envoler. Oublier la croix et la bannière, oublier nos prisons solitaires, oublier nous n'en avons que faire. Nous ne sommes désormais que lumière, des papayers, des mangues feront symphonie dans nos bouches. Nous remplirons nos ventres de rire aussi vrai qu'ils sont fous. Tu peux choisir de rester, faut surtout pas que tu te sentes obligé. Tu peux choisir de rentrer, c'est pas du tout comme si ta vie en dépendait. Tu peux choisir de rentrer, on trouve bien là de quoi se rassurer. Tu peux choisir de rêver, d'aller regarder les étoiles de plus près. On peut partir, c'est quand tu veux, rendez-vous là où les aigles n'iront pas, et on peut s'envoler, laisser le vent nous emporter. On peut partir, c'est quand tu veux, rendez-vous là où les aigles n'iront pas, et on peut s'envoler, laisser le vent nous emporter. Viens, prends ma main, 2 secondes, je t'emmène vers le bout du monde. Viens, prends ma main, 2 secondes, je t'emmène vers le bout du monde. Viens, prends ma main, 2 secondes. Je t'emmène vers le bout du monde.
Merci. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, that was amazing. The harmonies,
Yeah.
wow.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Thank you.
Beautiful song.
That was, yeah.
Thanks,
that was-
thanks for taking that risk. It really paid off.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it wasn't so much of a risk with you guys because you guys was no, honestly, thank you. That was a lot of fun.
That
It was
was
the first time
amazing.
actually I think I've performed this like live like this.
Very cool.
It was an honor. Thank you.
Honored.
Il y a eu une autre tune en français, Yamato. T'étais pas le seul à avoir une tune en
C'est
français,
ça, je
mon
me
gars.
suis dit quand même, hein, ouais, il fallait pas quand même.
Allais le faire. Tu sais, j'en allais faire une, mais là, peut-être je vais pas faire ça, finalement, là, tu sais.
Ah non, mais plus on est de fous, hein.
Non, c'est ça. Incroyable, mais aussi vos harmonies, là, you know, like Leonard Cohen would always have like
Yeah,
his angels, he would call, like his backup singers.
Yes.
That's what you need, my man. But you could actually sing. That's the difference between you and Leonard Cohen. That you could, like, you already sing like an angel. It's gonna be like Angel and the Angels.
It was beautiful. Yeah. I couldn't have, even if I picked that, I couldn't have picked better, you know, I don't think, or more
Oh no, you guys.
tasteful voices. No, it was perfect. Thank you. No, it was honestly, I feel like you guys did me a favor. So I appreciate it.
How do you guys feel about doing that when, like, you know, I mean, I play a lot of country music, and Jono does too. I'm sure he's done this 1,000 times. Like, when you have the harmony notes, but like you half know the words. You know what I mean? So you're almost like mouthing syllables and like hoping vowels, yeah.
But that's a big thing with harmony. I feel like you can get away with not with, you know, you just want to get the vowel, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have a consonant. It's not that
Of course.
Yeah, I didn't sing a single word.
But it sounds like you do. It almost fakes it, right?
Yeah.
Because like since he's singing the words and you're singing
Exactly.
the notes with him and the rhythm locks up.
I feel like even recording, when I record, you know, producers often tell me that when I do the background vocal, it's like, no, just don't even do the consonant, like, especially at the beginning, you know, just like come in with a vowel.
Totally.
And yeah, usually it comes out fine because, yeah, with the main voice doing like all the hard stuff, carries.
Because I sing a lot of harmonies. Often when I'm singing lead, I forget to like end my words, because usually I'm letting the lead singer do that.
That's funny.
So my words just trail off.
That is pretty funny.
That's great though, all you songwriters at home, take notes on that, you know what I mean? It's like...
forget your S's.
Yeah, or if you're doing backup, forget your S's. It's like, it's a nice way to be able to sing together, but it's not even about not knowing the words, it's actually about like not... It's very hard to blend perfectly if you're singing the same words. You have to lock your phrasing and everything. If you're just faking it and making vowel sounds, you can get away with a lot.
Yeah.
Terence, you want to
Yeah, sure.
almost take us home? The penultimate performer.
Alright. So this is a song called Whole Again, which kind of touches a little bit on the same topic as your song and yours. Which was a song that I wrote kind of for somebody that was struggling with some depression. And I wanted to kind of make a cheer-up song, but not too cheery, and kind of a sales pitch for some of the cool things of life, of the earth. So I split it into 3 sections. Before the first chorus, I have one section that is good things about the environment, or like nature, and then about animal life, and then after the first chorus, about human beings. So this is how it goes. I hope you like it. We've got mountain ranges stretched for ages, majestic peaks draped in rivers and streams that flow into oceans, just like the sky's reflection, meeting far out as the eye can see. And we've got sunsets too, nights lit by pale moon, and sandy beaches and blue lagoons, and magnificent forests, just seas of trees, and beautiful copies of autumn leaves. And oh, it's all so wonderful. And we've got great blue whales with great blue tails that roam the oceans deep, and chimpanzees and honeybees whose nectar is so sweet. We've got parrots too, can sound just like you, and sing a song, whistle a tune. Thousands of mammals all traveling in herds, and great schools of fish and flocks of birds. And oh, it's all remarkable, but I feel you. Sometimes it's hard to see beyond the cloudy sky, take in the sun or stars at night, and it can feel like you step back twice when you take one step ahead, or like despair's your only friend. But the truth is, the whole wide world is so big and beautiful. Once you dig beneath the bowl, find the food that feeds your soul, the peace that makes you whole again. Glass-blown faces and paintings of places that could only exist in dreams, and symphonies sewn with strings of melodies, and emotion bursting at the seams. And we've got kindness to those looking out for you, and all the world, the future too. And so many great writers we're blessed to have, create compelling stories or just make us laugh. And oh, it's all incredible, but I feel you. Sometimes it's hard to see beyond the cloudy sky, like in the sun or stars at night, and it could feel like you step back twice when you take one step ahead, like despair's your only friend. But the truth is, the whole wide world is so big and beautiful. Once you dig beneath the bowl, find the food that feeds your soul, the peace that makes you whole again. Sun or stars at night, and it could feel like you step back twice when you take one step ahead, or like despair's your only friend. But the truth is, the whole wide world is so big and beautiful. Once you dig beneath the bowl, find the food that feeds your soul, the peace that makes you whole again. I feel you. Sometimes it's hard to see beyond the cloudy sky, like in the sun or stars at night, and it could feel like you step back twice when you take one step ahead, or like despair's your only friend. But the truth is, the whole wide world is so big and beautiful. Once you dig beneath the bowl, find the food that feeds your soul, the peace that makes you whole again.
Rhythmic things, man, these little rhythmic figures you do like only once, and it's just like amazing, and I'm like, wow, the restraint that takes.
Like you would do that all the time. I mean, I know I would do that all the time.
I would do that all the time. If I were writing a tune and I came across some crazy little rhythmic figure that sounded awesome, I would put it like every time, but it's just like, you make it a treat. If you want to hear it again, you got to listen to the song again, you know what I mean? That's how you get people to listen again.
No, it's a beautifully well put together song. I mean, just listening to it.
Totally.
I like the 3 different parts in it too. It's really cool. Yeah.
When you're writing, do you? Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, when you're writing, do you usually come up with the guitar part first, or the melody, or is it different every time? Just they just fit like a puzzle piece together.
Actually, usually yes, but like usually I'll be playing something and I'll want to keep that if I really like it, and normally that's going to be the hook, the chorus, and then I'll find, because I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. So I always want the chorus to be kind of the biggest part, and then I'll use kind of melody usually to try and suss out what I want the bridge to be in the verses, but it can be a little bit different every time.
Yeah. They just fit so well, like puzzle pieces together, the guitar and the melody part.
There actually, one thing that I notice, I don't try to think of chords or of theory when I write, but something that I did notice is oftentimes if you have certain chords in the chorus, the same chords will sound really good in the verse if you change it up a little bit. And this one, actually, they're very similar, but they kind of start in a different order. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I remember the first time I discovered a tune, I was doing a cover and I discovered a tune that did that. Just like cycling chord progressions through different orders, and I was like, that's brilliant.
Rotating the chorus every time, like every section?
Actually, it's so... That's the verse, right? Okay. And then for the hook, instead I start on this chord, which is the before last one, or not the before last one, but before that one, and then this one. Okay. And that's the same one as the first one from before, and that's the second one from before.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see.
TRL to
So it's kind of like, it's like the same progression, but I
This
started
is
the
neat.
chord earlier.
Okay, yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's so cool. What I thought you meant was like, say you have 3 chords, but you're in 4, so it, like each time you start over, it starts over on a different chord.
That would be cool.
That's cool. Yeah, a lot of tunes do that. It's really nice. How long does it take you to write a tune like that, out of curiosity?
I'm not sure how long it takes. For me, the lyrics sometimes take a really long time. Like I'll
Okay.
revisit them for a while. There's things that I won't like, and I'll change it.
You have really
but the
good lyrics.
music part-
That's what I was going to
You
say.
do, yeah.
Your
Yeah.
words.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
And parrots too, they can sound just like you. Oh, that's so cute.
And with those lyrics, you put like an harmonic or something, like they really reflect like the parrot. Like,
Oh
yeah.
Good
idea.
Yeah.
You should try
But you
some
did.
Yeah, you did.
You
I did?
Yeah, I think so. That's
Yeah, I meant to do that.
Nice.
For civilians at home, a harmonic is this instead of this kind of thing. Not the best example. Let's say this instead of this.
Don't try
That's
this
a
at
better
home, though.
example. Don't try this at home, guys. Seriously. It's almost like not playing the guitar. You gotta take your finger off. I remember the first time I saw you play, I noticed how you would use harmonics, and what I remember thinking was, there's a lot of like the modern guys do that, right? They're like incorporating harmonics all over the place, pinch harmonics, false harmonics, whatever. And I remember thinking, when I saw you, it was at Mariposa, I remember thinking, you know, a lot of people in Montreal play like that, but there is a huge scene in Montreal of that. As in, not a huge scene, but like a lot of the people came out of here, like Antoine Dufour and
Right, yeah.
Eric Mongrain, and even Don Ross was born around here. So a lot of the modern guys are from here, but I don't hear many guitar players doing that, it seems. It's like, the scene in this city is interesting to analyze, I find. Anyway, we are almost at the end of our little jaunt here. It's been such a pleasure. Thank you guys, the audience, for sticking in. If any of you are watching the game at the same time as you're watching this, just post the score in the chat for everyone else. That's for Montreal folks, by the way. And if you're seeing this on a replay, well, then that's another story. I'd like to thank all my musicians here, all these beautiful songwriters. Yeah. All right, you guys clap for us, and then we're gonna clap for you. All right. So how about I get the bar, not the bar staff. Jeez, all these people are just here to serve us booze. No, that's not what's going on. That's illegal. So we got these folks here who did this amazing recording. We got Cliff here, who's doing the switching live, well managing things on the computer for the event and all that. So he's just switching between cameras live. It's a very difficult thing to do, and he has mastered the craft. Over here we got Etienne, who's on one of our cameras. It's been amazing here. He's been coming out on the left. Nice one. Nice one. That might have not gotten through. No one's going to know why we're laughing. He was waving at his camera, folks. He was waving at his camera. Oh, there it goes again. All right. Oy. And yeah, it's just so great to be here. So great to have this great team with us. And I'm just going to go through your names one by one so that we don't confuse anybody. You guys can look in the list of the event. It says everyone who played here. Over here, my co-host, we got Ellen Torrie. Yeah. We got Lea Keeley right here. Jono Townsend. Yamato Brault-Hori. Clerel Jamin. Terence Dechef. How do you pronounce your last name? Dechef. Terence Dechef. It's a good last name to have here. It's like as if a French person was saying Dechef. The chef, you know, that's how they would pronounce it, Dechef.
And before you start your last song,
Yeah.
I would like to, on behalf of everyone, thank you,
Oh,
Lucas,
my
Choi,
pleasure.
Zimbel, for bringing us all together.
It's really my pleasure.
It's a real privilege. Thank you.
Ah, well, you were there when we had this idea. We were in this very room when we had this idea. Me, Ellen, and Frisco, who unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, because guess what? I got the date wrong when I sent these two the message. But we're gonna have Frisco here next time for sure. We had a little solo here, and we were all playing together. No, we were all playing individually on this stage, and we were all sitting back there, you know, wherever in the back of the bar, and we just kept talking to each other. We just wouldn't shut up. We were like our own best hecklers. We were heckling at each other about the tunes and saying like, hey, that was great. What does that lyric mean? What's this? What's going on? And afterwards we had a conversation where we were like, next time we do that, let's all be on stage together and like just share tunes and talk about it. And I'm really happy that the Wheel Club consented to do this, because this isn't something that would work in a bar. This isn't something that would work in a cafe. This isn't something that would work in a concert hall, really. This is something that works really well in this format. And there's something Canadian about it. I know the Junos do a sound circle every year. The Junos do a sound circle every year, and it's actually it's on CBC every year. That's the only reason I know. They actually air it fairly often. You know how they could be. It's like a bonus CanCon, right? So I'm gonna wrap this up with a tune. We were just talking about how long it takes to write tunes. You know, I asked you that question. As I was saying, the tune I played earlier, you know, I think I had that piece of paper in my pocket for a good 9 months, like I could have birthed a child in that time. This tune probably took all of 45 minutes. And that, to me, is the absolute greatest feeling. Because you sit down, you're in a trance almost. 45 minutes later, you get up and you got a finished tune. It's called Take a Long Hard Look at Yourself. And it's a song that invites a little self-reflection.
Sweet sound distract me from thoughts that I don't want to think. If you don't throw me a line, surely sink. Goodbye, salvation. I want you out of my mind. If you go digging too deep, you won't like what you find. Just need someone to hear me. Road is dark, I am blind, searching for nothing. That's what I'll find. Take a long, hard look at yourself. Fear is forgotten, free from my ball and chain. Freedom is overwhelming. Awareness brings only pain. Well, I wish that I knew nothing. Felt no need to shine a light. If I could stay in the dark, there'd be no need for sight. For all is rarely as it seems. Wrong can look a lot like right. Road is long, I am weary, I just need someone to hear me. Road is dark, I am blind, searching for nothing. That's what I'll find. Take a long, hard look at yourself.
Thank you all so much. So appreciated. You guys, we love all these magnificent songwriters. It's been so much fun to have you all here. We'll do it again sometime, you know, maybe.
Thanks for the invite, man.
And we'll be in a bar near you, or a concert hall near you, or a cafe near you, or hell, maybe in your living room. Soon enough, as the world resumes, it'll be real good for us to get out of our bedrooms and play some tunes for you guys, and we're all looking forward to it. And I'm going to hand this over to Mr. Cliff, right here.
Thank you all so much. That was absolutely outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. You know, I've said it before on the webcast that we're blessed here in Montreal to have such world-class talent. You guys are like 7 examples of that. Truly. All in your own way. Thank you. Absolutely.
Thanks for taking the risk on us. I've gotta say. Thanks for risking it.
Brilliant idea. Thanks to you, Lucas, for getting it all together.
I live in Frisco, man, and then Yamato. You guys, this was a group effort.
Very, very cool. And yeah, thanks again for all being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Thank all of you out there in digital land for being here as well. For not watching the hockey game. I'd say misery loves company, but I'm not a fan, so it's. And I'll catch a score later on. But yeah, thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting what is indeed a very important cause. And we often do forget about all these poor souls who they're just forgotten. And yeah, this was the right thing to do.
Totally. I mean, musicians and songwriters, we used to be bards too, you know, back in the day. We know migrants, and we still are. We travel a lot from place to place, country to country, and their plight is our plight.
Indeed. Yeah, and they need our support. So thank you very much for being here, everybody. Thanks again to all of you. And we'll see you again soon. Take care.